That's what Bobby is getting the help that he needs.
I see blood everywhere.
Even the little kids are talking about seeing mice and stuff running around in there.
I'm scared.
He was like eaten alive.
When Evansville police and EMTs receive an urgent 911 call describing a grisly attack by rats on a 6-month-old infant, they immediately race to the scene. As paramedics race against time to save the child, it is the nature of the attack that leaves investigators sickened beyond their wildest imaginations.
And I see his fingers. And I see that his fingers look like they've been chewed.
Early in the morning on September 13, 2023, police officers and EMTs quickly arrive at the Schonnebaum family home, expecting to see an injured baby off to a local hospital. But what they don't yet realize is the child's injuries and the infuriating reason behind them were something they never could have anticipated. Approaching the house, the officer can't help but notice the front porch is congested with toys, household objects, and heaps of trash. When he enters the house, he's greeted by Delana Thurman, the aunt of the victim, and David, the victim's father. Both are also looking after several crying children.
I walked in and found him this morning. He has a long night long. Then
That doesn't happen when a baby not make a sound.
Officer Green proceeds to gain further details from Delana, David's sister-in-law. He finds out that all of the other 4 children are under the age of 10, 2 of which are Delana's children.
So you're saying you didn't have a mark on him when you went to bed?
no marks on him at all.
No mark at all. We
Yeah.
laid him down. He was happy as could be. He fell asleep. We came in here to watch some TV.
What time was that?
We put him to bed at what?
It was about 8.
About 8.
Yeah, I mean,
And then we just came in here. We haven't heard anything since then. I mean, he was supposed to be at one time around like 10 or 11. But I went in there and I gave him a spot.
Moments after the officer's arrival, EMTs enter the home to tend to the victim. The officer is stunned by the ferocity of the infant's injuries.
He's got marks all over him and his fingers are like chewed off. I don't know what happened. They said it wasn't like that. Didn't hear him make a sound all night.
He wasn't like that around like 10 or 11 when I checked on him and gave him his bottle.
I've been having a rat problem here, but I've got traps everywhere, I've got bait balls set everywhere. I've tried it the best I can.
That doesn't happen and him not make a sound all night. Wait.
I can't go with my son.
No, not right now. You can sit down. Can you talk to him? This is mom and dad, get the rest. I can't talk to those people. I'm gonna lose it. Here you go. You should have seen the baby. It's terrible. They said to make a sound all night.
As more officers approach the scene, they are equally appalled by the disturbing injuries and the terrible conditions of the house the children live in.
One of the nastier ones I've ever seen. It's hard to contain the rage. It's hard to contain the rage.
That's not. Oh, that's I had to walk out. Babies died in big like close situations, but the fact that he was there and he was even alive, if you're telling me he didn't make a sound.
Yeah.
Are you serious?
No way.
In the house, but don't have diapers laying on the floor. Like,
Well, I can already tell just from the porch how bad.
I showed him the picture. It's bad.
So it looked like his fingers were chewed.
Like, they're like gone. Like he was like eaten alive.
All of them?
He's gonna lose at least a couple, but the whole hand's just chewed up.
With the baby finally receiving treatment in the ambulance, it was time to dig deeper into how such a grotesque attack on the child went unnoticed. The suspects are clearly being less than truthful, and officers must get to the bottom of it. Police isolate the victim's father, David, for questioning.
You just want to take a seat. Listen. I have no idea what's going on. I just got here, but I want to talk to you. But you're not under arrest or anything. But I'm going to read you your rights before I talk.
Hiring in 2022 is worse than pulling teeth. It's mad.
See that guy? That used to be me. Overweight, tired all the time, flabby and unfulfilled.
You okay?
I was getting all the kids up, ready for school this morning.
Okay.
I went in there like I've been doing. Went in there to get him up, and I see blood everywhere. So I got him up. I was like, okay, where's the blood coming from? I worked for AMR for a while.
Okay.
I was like, where's the blood coming from? You know, said, did he have a nosebleed? Did he have an ear bleed? I noticed amount of blood, and I see his fingers. And I see that his fingers look like they've been chewed. All right. And
Okay, what does he sleep in? Like a crib
He
or?
has a bassinet.
A bassinet?
Bassinet that's on the, like, stands up, off the floor.
Okay.
And it's in a corner of the room. Never had any issues.
So you think the dog was chewing on his fingers?
No. We have a rat problem here. I've been trying to get rid of them. I've got Terminex here. I've got bait blocks. I've got traps.
Okay.
All set. And it's like...
Okay.
The baby's mother, Angel Schonnebaum, was reportedly staying in a nearby mental health facility and wasn't present during the attack on the infant. David brings the officer to his son's room, where the incident occurred.
You need to get out of there.
If you don't want to look in there, it's fine. You just...
Please, over here. He has a pack and play.
Okay.
The blood-soaked bassinet and boppy pillow create a scene like something out of a horror movie. A defenseless infant would not have stood a chance fending for himself against what was likely a multiple rodent attack. The officer only has time for a brief look before David becomes overwhelmed.
It's all right. It's all right. Let's get you some. Let's get you some cigarettes.
That's my baby,
I know. They're gonna help him, okay?
As David paces through the house, the children are becoming restless, realizing something is very wrong. When David is able to take a minute to calm down on the front porch, officers gather near the ambulance to compare notes. Despite the house's condition, the question of how this many rodents were infesting the property and the role the adults played remain to be discovered.
Is it both hands?
The right hand's the worst. The left one is, for lack of a better term, more superficial.
Okay.
His feet. Nothing really noted on his back. Groin area looks okay, a little bruising in the perineum.
According to the police incident report, the baby had over 50 rat bites all over his body. Despite the terrifying wounds on his left hand, it was his right hand, however, that had the EMTs deeply concerned about the child's well-being. He would need a blood transfusion when he arrived at the hospital, as the wounds were nearly fatal.
We'll get him buckled up before
All right.
any of us get angry enough to say hello to the parents. I'm assuming they're not coming to the hospital.
No. Absolutely not.
All right.
I don't know how you wouldn't hear it.
This has to be excruciating. And if he wasn't screaming, then something else.
Yeah.
While the officer continues to speak with David, the children are growing restless inside as an officer tries to calm them down.
Hey, bud. It's okay.
Here, come over here. They're all girls. Yeah, the little boy. You want to sit down so we can talk to you?
A call from DCS, their person, to see if they're going to want the kids to stay.
Okay.
So we'll wait just a little bit, and then if so, we can talk here in a minute.
I know you two want to go to school, but we're going to wait until one other person comes, and then maybe we'll get to go to school, okay?
I know, but Bobby is getting the help that he needs.
Out of this house.
Please do not ask again.
Well, let me show you this. Can you hand by him? I'll give him all this.
Hey, bud. Can I give you a hug? Can I give you a hug? All right, bud. I know.
I'm scared.
Yeah.
I'm scared.
Oh.
I'm bed bleeding. I'm bed got bleed all the day.
Yeah.
Baby gone.
He's at the hospital, okay?
He comes right back. Yeah, he comes right back. Get that down there. He's brave.
Suddenly, without provocation, one of the children says something alarming.
I saw the mouse go over there.
You did?
Yeah. Not me. I just find it in my room wanted
Okay.
and bite me.
Yeah.
Mommy.
Yeah.
And I'm just scared.
Yeah.
Baby got a mouse in his bed.
Yeah.
And bite. And bite his feet. Very quick. We got this house. And on his head. We get out of this house. Mommy. We get out of this house.
Hearing the child's haunting plea to leave is heartbreaking. They clearly recognize the danger they're all in. After a few minutes, the officers take them outside to play, hoping some activity would lighten their moods and ease their stress.
Want blue? There you go.
What's your favorite thing to draw?
Ooh, that's a triangle.
Yeah, I like it.
You like triangle. What color chalk would you like to use?
I like it.
Can you draw me a flower?
Yeah.
In a minute.
In a minute.
Draw a flower.
I'll make you some more.
Oh, if I can bend down.
Around this time, officers discuss their horrifying observations, planning a way to rescue the remaining children.
I told Dad that we're going to keep all the kids here.
Okay.
Because they all need to be checked out.
I looked and I asked them if
Well,
anybody had boo-boos. Nobody had boo-boos.
they're all, even the little kids are talking about seeing mice and stuff running around in there.
Officers and DCS guide David back inside to gain a better idea of the recent conditions of the house. In stark contrast to the serenity in the yard, the house is in a state of chaotic disrepair. Used diapers are littered across the floor along with garbage and clutter. The house was reportedly smelling foul, and there were a number of visible rat traps. Despite the disturbing state of the living room and the bloody nightmare in the baby's bassinet, officers still don't know that they've only scratched the surface.
The kitchen is a mess. So I've been remodeling, and I pulled the stove out and got everything swept out and trying to get the kitchen worked out. So I will let y'all know there's a mess in there.
In the bedroom, the team of officers photographed the mess, blood stains, and rat tracks, processing the scene and taking pictures of the area for evidence. With DCS and police investigating the bedroom together, an official from the DCS has a moment to share some interesting information.
You guys have pictures?
Of the home, like previous pictures, Alicia, yes.
That's right. The DCS is very familiar with the Schonnebaum family. In fact, there have been 3 ongoing cases and 1 decided case attached to David specifically. Beginning in December of 2022, there was 1 claim of neglect and 1 claim of lack of supervision. Finally, in January of 2018, David was charged with neglect of a dependent with endangerment, a level 6 felony, but the court withheld judgment, sentencing him to suspended probation, providing very little recourse for his actions. In February 2021, David was charged with possession of substance, for which he received 1 year of a suspended probation sentence. While a case manager visited the home once a week, it was clearly not enough to prevent the unspeakable attack on the baby, nor did it prevent the other 4 children from potentially being exposed to serious diseases due to the animal feces and rodents. In the kitchen, the mess goes from bad to nauseating. In the police report, David stated he believed there was a dead rat behind the stove and decided to replace the appliance. Delana adds that this renovation caused garbage to pile up in the kitchen, making the trash situation far worse. Rats scampered away when they opened the door to the kitchen, forcing David and Delana to lock the door to prevent the children from going inside.
Is this a closet over here?
Where? I'm sorry.
The door that's next to the back door?
Oh, no, that goes to the basement.
You want to go down there?
I'm gonna go down there first and we'll see.
Little dog food in the kitchen.
Guess I should. If I can even open it.
You probably don't go down the basement.
Yeah, it's
very rarely open.
yeah, there's tons of rat down here.
There's blood in the kitchen in there too. You working in there? Or?
No.
Old blood?
I don't know. I know Bruno's been in there.
As investigators move through the house, they notice one of the family dogs has a scratch on his nose. Officers photograph the dog and begin confronting David further about his use of rat traps.
Dog got a scratch on his nose too.
Dog?
Yeah, I don't know what from unless it found that rat or something.
I put dog food in them usually, and
See that?
It's okay.
but
How many of those you got around?
There's one there. There's one behind the couch. I have one in the bathroom.
But they're all gone now, right?
Yeah, that's the thing.
What if you could make $5,000 to $20,000 flipping houses without using your own money, without risk, and without...
This is what Ivy League universities you can get into with a 3.6 GPA.
I lived here for 4 years, and I didn't have a rat issue till last year.
Your sister said your dog got one last time?
He had one.
A rat?
And little dog likes to get rats. But
that explains scratch.
He had one, and it went down big. So
just fighting it?
Yeah. Little dog hates rats. This is a good thing.
According to the police report in a follow-up interview at the station, Delana additionally states that there has never been a rat in the children's room. However, in the weeks prior to the attack on the baby, 2 of the children told a school teacher they'd been bitten by mice on their toes. Delana suggested these marks were made by the children's bed frames. Unfortunately, the school nurse could not conclusively confirm the source of the marks. As the inspection comes to a close, David tries to justify his actions once again, but the officers aren't willing to allow him any more chances.
I would never guess this issue. Mice eat cheese and...
Yeah.
That's my thing.
No.
I don't know anything about them.
No, I don't either. I'm not saying I wouldn't have guessed. Like I said,
I've never...
I mean, if I've seen one, if I saw one, I'm just saying, everyone's got their own. Obviously, you can't just up and move or whatever. So, I mean, if you see a rat, you might not think it might happen, but I'm just saying, I mean, rats are rats, so...
David was in fact able to secure housing that same day for his family, but it was too late. DCS removed all 5 children from their parents' care soon after. Delana Thurman was charged with 2 counts of neglect on a dependent, which places the dependent in a situation that endangers them. On January 17, 2024, Delana accepted a plea agreement for both counts of her indictment and received a 2-year suspended sentence on probation. David Schonnebaum was charged with 1 count of neglect on a dependent for each of the children who had not been attacked, and 1 count of neglect on a dependent resulting in serious injury, all of which were felonies. He was on probation at the time the crimes were committed. On October 2, 2024, David was found guilty on all charges and was sentenced to 16 years in Indiana's Department of Corrections. While Angel Schonnebaum, the child's mother, was not present at home at the time, she had been present during previous interventions and visits from the DCS. Having taken no action to improve the living conditions at home, Angel was charged with 2 level 6 felony counts of neglect on a dependent for each of the children who had not been attacked, and 1 level 3 felony count of neglect on a dependent resulting in serious injury. However, in September 2024, Angel Schonnebaum took a plea deal and pleaded guilty to a level 5 felony neglect charge, which is lesser than the original level 3 charge. She also pleaded guilty as charged to 2 level 6 felony neglect charges. On October 24, 2024, Angel was sentenced to 9 years in prison for the charges and is currently serving the sentence at the Indiana Department of Corrections. As of the time this video was produced, there's been no update on the health status of the injured child or the other 4